buzzing, buzzing, and we're humming, humming, and we're loving all day. Yeah.
Ingrid, how should I do my intro for this video?
What's up, guys?
What's up? I can't do it as good as Kayla, so I'm just gonna start talking.
What's up, guys? Welcome
Wow,
to
that was really good.
Here, I could be your voice.
Okay, ready?
3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel.
I don't actually know that word, but I guess we'll see. Okay, what's up, guys? It's me, and it's Kayla, and she's just here because I don't know, but I'm gonna talk about my marathon experience. Finally, 6 months later. 6 months later, you ask. Why is it so late? Why was it not posted with the other videos, you ask? I got the reasons. Number one, I got busy with school. So this was a very postponed, like 6 months later after the marathon type of postponed, but it's fine. Second, you guys know how much I don't like sitting in front of a camera talking. I like vlogging, but I don't like talking in front of camera, and I told myself that I was gonna do this for this video, so I've kind of just been pushing it back, but now we're here filming it. Cause A, I have the time, cause I finished my summer class, so now we're technically in summer, and you thought that I would have time during the coronavirus when everything went like shut down and everybody was in quarantine. I still didn't because I still had classes online. So that's that. Anyways, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the marathon experience, like a story time type of thing, and also questions are going to be answered from the questions that you guys have asked me ever since I did it. So we're gonna get started. Stop! I'm just trying to get to filming. I want to get this over with. So we're going to start this story on January 12th, 2:15 a.m., which is the time I woke up for this race. You're like, why are you up so early? Because the race started at 5, and my dad said we have to be out and walking to the bus stop by 3 a.m. So I'm like, okay, 2:15, I have 15 minutes to go on my phone, check social media, and kind of wake myself up and just mentally get in the zone. So that's what I did. I got up, got ready, and I prepped all my stuff the night before. So I just put on my clothes, put on a little makeup, and I was at the door at 3 a.m. So I was walking 3 a.m. to the shuttle stop, which is right by our resort. Walk there, we get there, we chill for 10-15 minutes waiting for the shuttles, because there are shuttles going back and forth from the different resorts to where the race is going on. So we waited, we get to the shuttle, we get on, and I'm glad we left at the time we did, because 3 in the morning was kind of early for me, just because if the race isn't starting at 5 and the race was just right there basically across the street, why are we leaving so early? But the traffic in Disney at 3 in the morning was insane. There was so many cars, like, oh my god, there was so much traffic. It was so congested. I was was shook, okay? And we finally get there. We get to the like area around 3:40. We get off the shuttle. We see a bunch of people already walking towards like security, where they have to check like your bags and stuff. So we start walking towards security. We get to the line. It was kind of long, but it moved pretty fast, and we saw like the Epcot ball light up, and it was so pretty because it was like still early in the morning. It was so pretty. So we wait in line, we finally get through the line like 10 minutes later, and we are... Ingrid! Are you freaking kidding me? I just, you know, this video is 6 months late and I'm trying to film it now, but I can't do it because Ingrid wants to cut her toenails right now. I'm gonna chuck this shoe at you.
They're sharp!
Bro, but you gotta do it right here, right now when I'm filming. My sister, I just love her. So we get through security and everybody's there. There's a lot of people, there's lights, there's music, the whole shebang, the whole Disney experience. It was just A+. And, you know, everybody was just so pumped and it was amazing, but I was not pumped because I was still tired. So everybody can get to this area, like spectators and stuff, but then we start walking toward the start line and you have to have your bib on because there's people checking. So obviously we had our bibs on already. So we walk towards like the start line and it's a long walk. I think by the time we sat down, by the time we started our race, we already walked 2 miles. That's 2 miles, guys. That's long, okay? So we get through that path, we're walking some more, we're still walking, more music, more walking, more people, more walking, and then we finally get to our corral. Our corral is where we started for our race. So based on your times or your expected times to finish, you get placed in corral. So you have A, B, C, all the way through H, I think. And we were in corral D. We went in, we sat down, and we were chilling there for like 1 hour because there was so much traffic on the Disney property that they decided to push the race back because there were so many people that were late. And so we ended up waiting there for like an hour, and they were playing a bunch of music, a bunch of songs. They even did the Baby Shark song, which I thought was really funny because it was like a really popular song during that time. We were waiting there for quite a while. Like I said, the race was supposed to start at 5, and then the first fireworks went off at 5:20. So there's a fireworks little thingy for each start. We started moving up to the start line.
That means it's Mickey Mouse time!
Get ready to go, everybody! 3, 2, 1, go! This is good running music.
And I believe we started at like 5:30, 5:40. So we started 40 minutes after.
Incoming clip. Okay.
Oh my god, you should really said incoming clip. Alright. Get near the stage where Mickey and Minnie are standing right by the starting line. So when you're near that place, that means you're getting ready to start. So we started, our fireworks go off, and here comes the start of my marathon. At this point, what was I feeling? All the emotions were going through my head, all the feelings. Am I gonna finish? Wow, why am I already tired? It's only been half a mile in. Just, you know, those thoughts that literally, why is my feet hurting already? We're only a quarter mile in. So all those thoughts just started rushing through my head, and I was like, wow, I'm just really starting this marathon right now at the crack of dawn, like actually. And there were so many people around me. Like, it's not like that throughout the entire race, but at the beginning it's like that because everybody's obviously just starting, finding their pace. So everybody was kind of like cramped. So but later on, obviously, we got more separated. We were running, we hit like water stations, medical stations, and then our first character that we ever encountered on the race was characters from Zootopia, Judy Hopps, and what's his face? The wolf. Not the wolf.
The fox.
The fox. What was his name? Nick Wilde?
Yeah.
Nick Wilde, yes. Thank you very much, cousin.
Clipping.
And we waited in line for pictures, and I'm glad we did. So yeah, that's kind of how the Disney Marathon works. You go through the parks, you stop in lines, you wait in lines to take pictures with characters because there's a bunch of characters everywhere. When I say everywhere, everywhere. You can take pictures with like in the parks of like statues or just cool places in the parks you take pictures of. Like I took pictures in front of the Animal Kingdom tree, I took pictures in front of the castle, I took pictures just literally everywhere. everywhere. You can take pictures with like in the parks of like statues or just cool places in the parks you take pictures of. Like I took pictures in front of the Animal Kingdom tree, I took pictures in front of the castle, I took pictures just literally everywhere in the park that you think is like pretty, you can take pictures at. And with the characters, and yeah, but the characters, most of them have lines, so we kind of use that as like a resting time slash stretching time slash eating like gummies for like electrolytes and stuff. But that's basically what we did. And then there was a point where I was on the curb sitting with my dad because our feet were hurting and we needed to massage it. So it was just like really laid back. It was not a stressful time, but low-key it was a stressful time, but it wasn't like high pressure situation until, y'all, the craziest thing happened. Okay, so during our run, guys, okay, it was so hot that there was like heat advisories throughout that whole entire weekend. And the day of the marathon, there was also heat warnings, heat advisories, and thank God we got through it. But it got so hot that they cut out a part of the route. So how it worked was you run through the 4 parks and then you also run through a water park for the marathon. It was called Blizzard Beach, but since it got so hot, they cut that part out so that runners don't have to go through that, so that they can finish quicker. So technically for those people, they technically didn't run a marathon. That would literally kill me if that happened to me, because it cut like a mile out, I think, and I would not want that to happen. Even though we were low-key struggling, it was really hot. Like, I'm glad we got through that part before they decided to like take it out, because wow, if I finished and I was like, oh my god, I only ran 25 miles, I would literally just not have been happy. So yeah, I'm glad we got through that. But yeah, y'all, it was so hot, it was so humid, it was ridiculous. But yeah, we took pictures with Incredibles, we went through Tomorrowland, we went through, you know, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, the whole thing. It was so much fun. 10 out of 10, recommend it. And then after we finished at around noontime, yes, you heard that, it took you that long, whatever, we did not care. It was just, so it was like a lot of fun. We didn't really care about the time, we just wanted to finish. We wanted to take pictures with the characters, take lots of pictures, videos, chill. I hit up every medical tent for biofreeze, Vaseline, just the whole thing, and I don't regret it, because it was very, to be honest, it wasn't, I'm glad I didn't stress over it like a lot of people would have done in normal marathon races. I love the Disney Marathon as my first marathon. Like, I would not want it any other way. So we finally finished. We took our finisher photos. I'll post it here so you can see we finished and we got to hold these signs. We got our medals and it was just a fun time overall. So we met with our family and we sat on the ground for quite some time to take some rest.
Okay guys, just finished. I'm dead, my legs hurt so much.
Stretch, eat some snacks, because by that time me and my dad were just gassed. We were just drained. We were just, you know, my dad was hurting just because he ran. My dad was hurting more, but that's because he ran a half marathon the day before with my brother. So he was just like on a whole other level of pain. But yeah, so we finished, we rode the shuttle back to our resort, and by the time we got back to our resort, our family already packed up our things because we were actually checking out that same day to go to Vero Beach to relax there. So we went back to the resort, got in the car. I packed clothes to change to, just because I didn't want to be like in the same clothes than what I wore to the marathon. So I changed real quick, got in the car. But before we got to Vero Beach, we went to a place, ate some breakfast, and I got some gifts from my parents because they're the best. They got me gifts because it was my first marathon ever. So I'm gonna insert some pictures here, but they basically got me this cute Minnie Mouse gift bag with like pistachios, feature socks, which are my favorite socks, keychain. I forgot, I'll just insert the pictures, but yeah, it was really nice. So yeah, we went to get breakfast and then we went to Vero Beach. But yeah, that was the whole marathon experience.
Flying high like a bird in the
and now I'm going to be answering some questions you have. I think it was a lot simpler than the other marathons because
I died.